Hello and welcome back to A Sharper Life. I'm your host, Nikki Sharp, a two-time best-selling author, wellness expert, and transformation coach. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. And if you are new here, it is great to have you. A Sharper Life is not your typical self-help podcast. It is a refreshing take on personal development where I break down oftentimes complex and confusing topics, making them super easy to digest and fun to implement. Each week, I share episodes ranging from solos where it's you and me, and I'm sharing what you don't see on Instagram, tools I personally use to navigate challenging times in my life, and actionable tips for you to transform all areas in your life. So get a pen and paper ready because this week's episode is filled with nuggets that you are going to want to write down and take note on. But before we begin today's super powerful episode, I wanted to share with you about my brand new program called Sharper Health, The Reset. It begins January 15th and it lasts for 2 months. Now, this is the first time ever that I am joining forces with other people. So I have partnered with 2 registered nutritionists, and this unique course goes beyond generic health regimes. It's offering a much more personalized and research-backed approach to helping you see the results that you want. So you will get access to results-driven coaching, weekly live calls, and 24/7 access with your 3 experts. We will be in a private WhatsApp chat with you where you can ask questions for the entire 2 months, any challenges that come up. And if you've ever taken a program with me, you know that I go above and beyond in everything that I do. And this one is no different. I am so incredibly excited about this. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing and how it's different than the Sharper Health programs in the past that I've done. So for this, you are going to be getting a more personalized and research-backed information about the gut, cortisol, and the sympathetic nervous system. You'll be learning about the 4 pillars to reach optimal weight. So this includes nutrition, sleep, movement, and mindset and stress. You're going to learn how cortisol, which is the stress hormone, is preventing you from losing weight. And especially after the holidays, you probably, my guess is, feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And with the new year coming up, we always put so much pressure on ourselves, which actually causes more stress in the body, making it harder for you to lose weight. So you're also going to be losing weight immediately because we're going to be improving your confidence with science-backed information. You're going to learn the correct foods to be eating, including inflammatory foods, nutrients that your body needs to feel great immediately. And you're going to be getting customized supplements just for you. And you will also be learning about cravings, hunger signals, and you will understand how to overcome emotional eating and supplements to help boost your energy. There's also so much more that we're going over in this program, and much of it is being taught by these 2 experts. So these registered nutritionists who work in London, and they have their own practice on Harley Street. So who is this program for, the Sharper Health Reset? It is for you if you are feeling bloated, if you feel inflamed, if you have gained weight during the holidays and you are just not feeling so good. You feel like no matter what you've tried, you just are not losing those extra pounds or kilos. And if you're just feeling a little bit blah after the holidays, then this program is for you. Early bird pricing, where you can save $200, ends on January 3rd. So do not delay. This program is going to radically transform the way that you look and feel about yourself. So head to sharperhealthprogram.com to save $200 to learn more about Roberta, Caroline, and myself. And if you have any questions about it, please do not hesitate to reach out to me in Instagram. Now, for today's episode, I wanted to run you through an exercise that I have clients do that helps transform their health. And I find that every time I do this exercise, and there's a few different parts to it, it helps you get so much clarity around your blocks when it comes to health. And I figured this was the perfect time to release this episode as we're entering the new year, because like you, like me, you probably have something health related that you're trying to do, whether that's losing weight, toning up, just getting back on track with your fitness or your nutrition. And so this episode specifically is packed with tips, actionable items, and prompts that will change the way that you approach your body, your food choices, and improving your confidence. So this week, we are taking a look at what it means to be healthy. So you've heard this word, you use it. This is healthy, right? This food is healthy, or this is not healthy. Or this, you might see as like, this is a health food product. But what does that actually mean? So what I find so often when I work with clients is that the first thing that someone comes in is they say, I want to lose weight or I want to get healthy. And those are really generic and broad terms that if you don't get more specific on what that means and what's been preventing you, then I can guarantee 2024 is going to be no different. But if you listen to this episode, you take some notes, you answer the questions, I promise that you are going to get a lot of clarity. So here are 3 questions that I would like you to think about. And better yet, after each one, I would actually recommend taking a moment to pause this episode to write it down and answer these for yourself. So question number 1 is, what does health mean to you? What does health mean to you, and what does it mean to have a healthy life? And the reason this one is important is because we all are going to have a different definition of what health looks like. And I remember when I started my health journey about 11 years ago, to be healthy was actually very restrictive. I thought that I needed to have the quote unquote perfect diet. I thought that my body needed to look perfect. And if I messed up, quote unquote, if I messed up, I would go into fuck it, all or nothing mentality. So I really want you to get clear on, what does health mean to you? What does it mean to have a healthy lifestyle for you in your life? Question number 2, what is the difference between having a healthy body and quote, the perfect body? And this question I find very powerful because especially as women, we focus on the number on a scale versus how you actually feel and the choices that are aiding you towards a healthy lifestyle and healthy body versus the quote unquote perfect body. And question number 3 is, what is preventing you from attaining the results you want? So this is where you get really clear with yourself, and which is why I also, again, recommend pausing this podcast to really get clear and write down with no judgment what has been preventing you from attaining the results in your body, in your health that you want. Is it that you emotionally eat? Is it that you're drinking too much? Is it that you go into that all or nothing mentality? Is it that if you quote unquote mess up eating, that you just say, fuck it, and go eat everything possible and say, I will start again tomorrow? So what's been preventing you, with as much specifics as possible? After you have answered those questions, here's what I want you to do. We're going to be talking about what your dream health looks like. And notice, I did not say your dream body. I said your dream health. And something that I see so often when we as women focus on the body only, right, and how I look, what the number on the scale is, it actually gets you further away because you're focusing on what you don't have versus focusing on what you do have and adding in things to make you feel better. So I'm going to ask you, as long as you're not driving, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes just for a moment here. So just for a moment, closing your eyes, and I want you to start thinking about what you want to achieve in 2024 with your health and your body and your confidence. So really just taking a few deep breaths here and allowing this to sink in. If I could wave a magic wand, what is it that you want to achieve in 2024 with your health, with your body, and with your confidence? And allow whatever comes up to come up. So are there specific words that come up for you? Are there specific things that you would be wearing? So let's go a little bit deeper. What does confidence feel like? And I really want you to focus on that word feel. What does confidence feel like? What does it look like for you? And what would be different if you were in your ideal confidence than where you are right now? So still with your eyes closed and really give yourself this moment to just be in it. I want you to envision yourself at your most radiant self. You look great. You feel great. You're wearing clothes that make you just feel incredible. So I want you to picture and really embody this version of yourself. How would you be dressing? How would you be acting in this ideal version full of confidence? What choices would you be making in this dream vision and version of yourself full of confidence? So what choices would be different from that version of you, the one you're going to be stepping into, versus where you are today? And what are you doing right now that is preventing you from getting to that ideal version? But I really want you just to marinate on this for a moment and allow it to sink in that you can have this dream version of yourself. But first, you have to believe that it's true. You have to believe that you can actually have it. And that is why it is so important to do the visualization process. And I know sometimes it sounds woo-woo when you hear things like, oh, affirmations and, sitting there meditating on this version, but you don't have it yet. And I totally understand how hard it is when you're not in a body that you feel confident in, when your clothes are feeling too tight, you're feeling a little bit blah, especially after the holidays. Rather than focusing on that, I want you to really embody this version of yourself that you are stepping into. So with that, opening your eyes, and I hope you did that little exercise with me. The next part of this and what we're going to be doing is it's a full writing exercise. Now, you could do this in your mind, but I highly, highly recommend taking a sheet of paper. And I actually recommend doing a blank white sheet of paper, so printer paper. And the reason that I like this is because it allows the mind to flow wherever it wants. You're going to be writing things all over the page here that's going to be describing your dream health. After you just did that little visualization, you're going to now be writing dream health in the center of this piece of paper, and using some prompts that I'm going to be giving you, you're going to write down as much as possible. And I really want you to focus on this greatest version, the version you're stepping into. It is possible. But first, where we started off this episode with is you have to get clear on what is your meaning of health. What does that look like? What is preventing you from getting there? And then visualizing what it is that you actually want to achieve. So as I share some of these prompts with you, I want you to just use as many things, as many words or sentences that come up. And when we're done with this exercise, I'm going to be reading off some of the things from my dream health so that you can understand. And again, notice that we're not saying the perfect body, we're saying the dream health. And that is because dream health encompasses so much more. And when you're singularly focused on one thing, such as losing weight, we tend to sabotage ourselves versus what I like to call crowding in. So with this dream health, you're going to be crowding in all of the different aspects that will help you actually get to your dream body. So taking a moment with that pen, piece of paper, I want you to write down in your dream health, what does your body look like? What does your body look like? And sure, if you want to put a number down, you can, but let's go beyond that. Do you have toned arms? Do you have a nice firm tushy? Do you have cellulite or no cellulite, right? I would imagine you'd want to say, I have no cellulite. I'm toned. I'm fit. I feel strong. So the next question is, how do you feel? So what words, qualities, or adjectives describe you at your peak health? So for me, this is like radiance, vitality. I have energy. I wake up not needing coffee. I sleep well. In your dream health, how do you act? So what are the things that you would be doing if you were embodying this fullest version of yourself? So how are you acting? Are you working out daily or 5 days a week? Are you going to yoga or Pilates? Are you going for runs? Are you going for walks? Are you, even if it's cold outside, are you still getting outside and doing the thing that you know makes yourself feel good? What types of things would you do to keep yourself there? So as you think about your dream health, I want you to think about your skin, your hair, your nails. So would it be something like taking a collagen supplement? Would it be that you're focusing more on getting nutrient-dense meals versus focusing on how many calories is in this meal? If you are living and breathing and embodying your dream health, what foods would you be eating? What would your meals look like? Would there be more balance for you so that you can get out of this all or nothing mentality? What are the health practices that you would be engaging in? So maybe it's a commitment to the gym, signing up with a trainer, because maybe for you, you know that without a trainer, you are not going to the gym. Or maybe it's getting an accountability buddy to help keep you accountable to the things that you're saying you want to do. And what, let's put it this way. So of the 5 senses, how would these play into your ideal health, right? So we have touch, sound, sight, and I think I'm going to forget all of them here. But of your 5 senses, how do those play in? So I can tell in my life with my dream health, having candles around my apartment always makes me feel in a better mood. And if I'm in a better mood, I make better choices. So that's using the sense of smell. For another example, I love music. I love playlists, and I'm always creating new playlists because they keep me motivated to go work out, especially if I'm just not feeling it. I put on a playlist and it gets me going. So using the 5 senses, how do these play into your dream health? And as you think about all of these things, your page should be very full by the end of this exercise. And I'll read you off some of the things from my ideal health. So I have things like I am taking care of myself because I love my body. So I want you to think about this for your own life. Do you do things because you hate yourself? Right? Do you go on diets because you don't like your body, you hate your body? Or do you choose to exercise and do things because you love yourself and you want to treat yourself with respect? For me, it is a flat tummy, no bloating. So notice the difference between saying something like, I'm not going to have champagne or dairy, right, which can be bloat causing, versus instead of that, I'm going to focus on things that make me have a flat tummy. So naturally, I'm probably going to start taking a digestive enzyme if I know that I'm eating maybe a heavier meal, or if I'm drinking champagne, which has bubbles in it. I also know personally for me that anything with carbonation or bubbles like sparkling water just does not do as well. And so if I'm writing down that I want a flat tummy in my dream health, well, naturally, I'm going to start making choices more in alignment with that. I have fit, radiance, toned, that I have beautiful, clear skin, vitality, taking care of my mind, body, and soul. So as you're thinking about this, again, rather than focusing on just the body, now we're going bigger, we're going more macro of taking care of your mind, body, soul. What if you started meditating, even if it was for 5 minutes a day? How do you think that would make you feel? Would that reduce your stress? And so a little caveat here is that when you are stressed out, your stress hormone called cortisol increases. Now, when cortisol increases, it makes it impossible for you to lose weight. And that is because all the blood leaves your stomach and is going to your extremities. And this goes into the nervous system. So your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight, and parasympathetic is rest and digest. So Are you eating meals at your laptop at work? Are you eating meals on the go? Or are you sitting down with a knife and fork? And so what happens is that if you're in a state of stress, let's say you got a work email that you're like, oh my God, I need to respond to this right now. Or you got a text message from someone and it really, really frustrated you. Or you check your phone very first thing in the morning and ding, 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 you see all of these things. Maybe it's that right before you're going to bed, you're on social media and checking your phone. All of these things are going to play into your nervous system, putting you into a state of fight or flight. And the human brain has not caught up to modern technology. So if you are in a place where you are go, 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 you're putting everyone else first, you're not focusing on your own mental well-being, maybe meditation for 5 minutes a day could be a really beneficial thing. So that would go on your paper. For me, I have things like no need for makeup, meaning that my skin is radiant and beautiful and I feel beautiful from the inside. I have putting me first, putting my own mask on. So you've heard the saying on a plane, if the plane starts going down, cabin pressure drops, the masks fall, you put your mask on before you put it on someone else. The same goes for your own life, for your own health. If you are giving, 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 and you find yourself falling into people-pleasing tendencies or making sure everyone else around you is taken care of. And so, moms, I'm speaking to you right now. If you are giving your everything to your children, to your family, and it is depleting you, then I can already say that the dream health that you want, that dream body, is not going to happen. And so let's go back really quickly to when you're in that cortisol state, even if you're eating the quote unquote perfect diet, you are not going to be seeing the results you want because your body is not going to break down, digest, and assimilate the nutrients the way that it would if you were in that more calm state. So I want you to really quickly picture a vacation that you've been on. And a vacation that you went on, you were super relaxed and you were just eating with friends, or maybe it was just you were out at dinner and you had such a joyful time. Did you feel like crap the next day or did you feel good? My guess is that you felt really good the next day. And this is often what happens when friends and clients tell me all the time, they go to Europe, they have this great time in the sun, they're drinking, they're eating the pasta, and they're like, I don't get it. Why did I not put on weight? Why was I not bloated? Well, partially, yes, we know that the food quality is definitely better in Europe, but also you are in a state of relaxation, of joy. And so if you are someone who is giving, 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 you are automatically putting yourself into that stressed out state. And if you are doing this and you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to feel good, you're trying to improve your sleep, then again, I'm going to remind you that this should be going on your list where you say, I am in my parasympathetic nervous state as often as possible, or I do things that make me feel relaxed on a daily basis. For me, I have things like I am wellness versus illness. So wellness versus illness for me is when you think about wellness and illness, what are your definitions? Well, the we is the community, illness is I. So if you are solely focused on yourself or you find yourself that you're binging in private, so what you eat in private, you wear in public. And I'm going to repeat that. What you eat in private, you wear in public. Meaning if you are, again, stressed out, overwhelmed, anxiety driven, you're not sleeping well, you're reaching for that food, whatever it might be, that is going to show up on you later when you put the clothes on and go into public. And so are you feeling good about your body, or are you doing things when you're at home that make you feel not so proud of yourself? So notice this list as we're coming up with it. It really has to do with crowding in. So if you were writing things down like, and this is on mine, is a beautiful smile, no cavities, white teeth. Naturally, if I put that there, I'm more likely to brush my teeth after every meal, floss my teeth, go get regular checkups, because I don't want to feel bad about my teeth. I want to feel confident when I smile. So the whole concept here is we're starting to get clear on your definitions of everything. You're getting clear on what does your ideal manifestation, vision, and version of yourself look like in this dream health. What does your dream body look like? And then you write it out on paper. And so once you get clear of all of these things that you've written down on your paper, I want you to circle 5 of them. And these 5 things are going to be the top things that I want you to focus on for 2024 as we start January. Because here's what happens. You want to make a change. You want to lose weight. You want to feel good. You want to get rid of the bloating, the inflammation, whatever it might be. You want to feel more confident. And you try to do everything at once. And what happens when you try to do it all at once? Well, inevitably, you're not going to. You're going to miss a workout, or you're not going to eat the way that you said you were. And that's where we go back into that all or nothing mentality. So rather than focusing on everything at once, you're going to circle 5 of these things. And bonus points for you if you come up with an action plan for 3 things of each of these 5. So in an example, for mine, I say flat tummy, no bloating. So for me, I don't need to worry about this one so much because I have already implemented the things that helps get me there. But let's say no bloating is something that you're committed to for January. This is one of your 5 things. So your 3 action plans would be something like maybe finding the right supplement, like a digestive enzyme. Maybe it's something of, okay, I'm going to sit and eat at the table with a knife and fork, put my technology away. And maybe there's another one of, I'm going to limit or reduce just for a few weeks anything with carbonation if I know that that bothers me. So notice how we're taking things as the macro and then we're breaking it down into more simple, actionable items. Now, the last part of today's episode is I want you to think about the foods that you've been eating. Naturally, during Christmas, the holiday season, Hanukkah, we tend to overeat, we indulge, we drink too much. My guess is that the foods you've been eating, there's maybe not been so many vegetables, bright colors. So what I'm asking you to do, and this is a commitment for yourself, I want you to have at least 3 colors on your plate for 1 meal a day. That's it. 3 colors for 1 meal a day. And these 3 colors can be anything plant-based, strawberries, blueberries, broccoli, right? Boom, we have 3 colors. And what happens when you do this, I always say to people, count colors, not calories. When you do this, you are naturally going to be getting more nutrients, more phytonutrients, more minerals, more vitamins, and your body will thank you. You will start to have reduced cravings. You will start to see more energy. And notice I said nothing about taking anything out. All we're doing is 1 meal a day. You're adding 3 colors in. And I want you to start reflecting. So in a diary, in your phone, in your notes section, when you have this meal, I want you to write down how, and you can even think about it, but it does help to track things. How satisfied were you after eating this meal versus other meals that you've had? And just to kind of paint a picture here for you, let's say I give you a salad, right? It's January. You're all about it, all about the health. You want your health just to be great. You're committed. And I give you a salad. And on that salad, there's some lettuce, there's some steamed broccoli, maybe there's some cucumbers, and let's throw in some tomatoes there. And actually, maybe let's throw in some chicken or tofu, right? Okay. It looks okay. Right? It's all right. But then the salad, and you and I are sitting there together. The salad that I'm going to make myself, we have some spinach, we have some cabbage on it, we have some black beans, I've thrown on some strawberries, I've added some, maybe it's the same tofu, only I did a nice glaze on it, maybe I threw some hard-boiled eggs there, and maybe I added some cilantro, some parsley, maybe I also added some chickpeas or sweet potato. Notice all the different colors. And each of these different colors has a different texture, a different taste. And each color, when it comes to food, has different vitamins your body needs. So things like walnuts, we know that walnuts are really good for the brain. I highly, highly, highly recommend listening to this episode again, pausing it, having that pen and paper ready, because if you go and answer the questions and do the prompts and do the counting your colors and answering these questions, I can already promise that you will be well on your way, including those little action plans, to feeling better this January. Now, I hope that you enjoyed today's episode and you do have more clarity and more actionable tips to start implementing today. And by the way, do not wait till tomorrow. Start it today. Start everything here now with what you have and what you can. And I want to just remind you that if you are ready to go deeper and see the results that you really have dreamed about in your body while taking control of your health, learning to look and feel confident, learning how to overcome emotional eating, having a greater understanding of your gut, your microbiome, how stress plays into it, correct supplements, then I would definitely encourage you to join Sharper Health, The Reset with Caroline, Roberta, and myself. So 2 registered nutritionists and myself. Head to sharperhealthprogram.com. I will also put it in the show notes. If you have any questions about this episode, feedback, or you want to share anything like your dream health that you wrote down, please send me a message on Instagram at Nikki Sharp. And until next week, here's to a sharper life.